The old man sat alone on a weathered log bench, facing the edge of the village where an ancient tree loomed. Gnarled, colossal, and eternal. They called it the Tree of Forgetting. Its roots reached so deep that even the earth itself seemed to tremble when the wind passed through its massive branches. The villagers whispered about it but kept their distance, avoiding its shadow as if by instinct. Only one man dared to sit and stare at it, day after day, season after season. The old man's face was carved by time. Deep lines running like winding roads across a scarred and weathered map. One steel blue eye remained. The other, long lost, had left nothing but a hollowed socket hidden beneath the shadows of his brow. His beard, white and braided with beads from a forgotten age, fell like the river of a life too long lived. He was massive, even bent by years, shoulders broad as oak boughs, arms thick with the remnants of strength that once moved mountains. His body bore the weight of battles no one alive remembered. He carried scars like trophies, though his heart carried something heavier, silent sorrow and secrets unspoken. No one in the village knew his name. The children called him simply Old Man. He hunted when hunger forced him, venturing into the wilds with an ancient longbow etched in swirling black marks, symbols older than memory. His arrows, tipped in black glass, whispered their own secrets in the wind. When food was gathered, he returned without a word, skinned his catch, and carried the meat inside. Then he would return to this bench, always this bench, and fix his one good eye upon the tree. And there he would remain. Hours would pass, days would pass, seasons would pass, and still he stared. Some thought him broken, others thought him mad. A few, though, suspected something deeper. That autumn, the north winds carried something unnatural. Dark clouds rolled down from the mountains, heavy, thick, and swallowing the sky whole. The air grew bitter and sharp. The villagers closed their shutters and barred their doors, whispering prayers to forgotten gods. But Old Man did not move. The storm broke suddenly, a vicious wall of icy rain hammering the earth. Wind screamed through the streets, snapping signs and twisting torches. The villagers scattered into their homes like frightened birds. Still, Old Man sat, his body unmoving, his gaze locked on the Tree of Forgetting, as though it might vanish if he dared to blink. 4. The storm clawed at him. Stinging rain striking his skin like 1,000 tiny knives, twisting his braided beard into knots. The thunder rolled down the valley like the growl of an ancient beast, but Old Man did not flinch. He was carved from something older than stone, something harder than the black glass of his arrowheads. Then, without warning, the heavens split open. Crack! A white-hot bolt of lightning ripped through the sky and struck the ground just feet from where he sat. The air sizzled, steam hissing from scorched earth. The thunderclap that followed rattled every door and window in the village. Any other man would have run. Any other man would have prayed. Old Man did neither. His one good eye never wavered from the tree. He was waiting. For what? Or for whom? No one knew. Chapter 2. The Cricket. The storm rolled down from the north like a living thing, its black clouds swelling and curling above the mountains. Lightning tore the sky, and the deep rumble of distant thunder shuddered through the walls of the small wooden homes. Inside one of those homes, a boy hid beneath a mountain of thick fur blankets, heart hammering like a caged bird. His name was Cricket. He was small for his age, slight and quick, with a wiry frame that helped him slip where others could not. His mind, though, was quicker than his legs. Cricket heard every creak in the house, every whistle of wind through the shutters, every booming crack of thunder rolling closer. He pulled the furs tighter around himself, trying to drown out the storm, but curiosity was louder than fear. Slowly he slid from beneath the blankets and padded across the creaky floor towards the small window near his bed. Pressing his face to the glass, he peered through the rain-streaked pane. And there he was, Old Man, sitting on his worn log bench, unmoving, unflinching, staring at the tree. Cricket didn't understand him. No one did. All day, every day, Old Man sat there, eyes fixed on the ancient tree of forgetting at the edge of the village. When the sun rose, he sat. When the torches were lit at night, he finally stood and returned to his cabin, only to repeat the ritual the next morning. Cricket thought it was strange, no, creepy even. Who does that? Who just sits? In all his life, Cricket had only heard Old Man speak once. One moment, a single fleeting encounter burned into his memory so deeply he could still hear the echo of it when he closed his eyes. 7. It happened in summer, months ago, when the sun hung low and warm in the fields. The memory Cricket had been chasing a cat, a fiery little orange short hair with a white nose and a mean streak. He'd spent weeks trying to catch it, convinced the stubborn thing would make the perfect companion. The cat disagreed. This day it bolted straight down the dirt road faster than a fox, not a single zig or zag in its escape. Cricket, fast as he was, kept just behind it, laughing breathlessly as his bare feet slapped the earth. He almost had it. Almost. Until the cat skidded to a stop ahead and looked back, tail twitching like a hunter's trap about to spring. It sat there calmly, licking its paw as if daring him to come closer. Cricket crouched low, creeping behind a row of barrels near a small house. His breath slowed, his heartbeat steadied. He was close now, so close he could count the cat's whiskers. And that's when he realized his mistake. The barrels sat at the very edge of the road, barely 4 feet from the tree of forgetting. Every child in the village had been taught to avoid it. They whispered the stories of people vanishing beneath its roots, of voices that spoke from its bark when no wind stirred the leaves. Most folks walked an extra mile around the village just to avoid passing near it. But Cricket had been too focused on his quarry to notice. He lunged from behind the barrels, and disaster struck. His foot slipped, his shoe flying free, and he went sprawling face first into the dirt. Before he could push himself up, a shadow fell over him. A massive hand, calloused and scarred, closed around the back of his shirt and hoisted him into the air like he weighed nothing at all. Cricket's feet dangled as he twisted in the grip, staring up into the steel-blue gaze of Old Man. Up close, he was terrifying. His face was of a storm of scars, his braided beard beaded with symbols from another age, his one good eye sharp as a predator's. And then the impossible happened. Old Man spoke, the whisper. At first, his voice caught, dry and unused. He coughed, shifted his tongue, wetting cracked lips. Then, slowly, a sound came, low, deep, and resonant. 9. It wasn't just a voice. It was an echo of something ancient. When he spoke, Cricket felt it more than he heard it. His chest vibrated, his bones hummed. In that single breath, he saw visions spill into his mind. Great fire-breathing dragons streaking through the black skies, pale frost worms freezing armies where they stood. Golden-haired warriors clad in shining plate, their flaming silver spears raised against the dark. The echoes of old battles and forgotten songs washed through him like waves. For a heartbeat, Cricket stood on a battlefield older than memory. And then the words came, soft but thunderous. "Go home now, boy. You are safe, but never come near this tree again." The whisper was so low it should have been swallowed by the wind. Yet the ground trembled beneath Cricket's feet as though the world itself had heard it. Old Man set him down gently, gave one last look toward the ancient tree, and turned away. Cricket had run home without looking back.